Hey everyone! So, it comes as no surprise that the most watched anime of Winter Anime 2024 was, of course, Solo Leveling. And honestly, who could blame people? Solo Leveling is quite the interesting series. Now, let's have a look. So, Solo Leveling, like the world, used to be just like ours, except these gates started to appear, and in these gates, it leads to a dungeon that hosts monsters. And if these gates are not like closed within roughly a week, I believe, the dungeons go through something called a dungeon break, which allows monsters from the dungeon to enter our world. And the most interesting thing is that normal human weapons won't work. So it's not like the anime gate where they can send like the army and tanks and all that works on them just well. That doesn't work in Solo Leveling. The only people that can pretty much defeat dungeons and kill monsters are people that are pretty much called hunters. And these are people that have mana inside the magic, basically. So yeah, that's quite interesting fact that Solo Leveling goes the path of not, normal people can kill them. It has to be specific people. Now, I could go on more about like the world building and maybe a little bit more about the hunters because I feel like Solo Leveling is quite the big world to like pretty much like dissect. But I want to move on to the characters because we got a pretty much a okay mixed bag. Like we got the good guys who are likable and all that, and then we obviously got the bad people that pretty much are just despicable people, like people doing stuff because the rule is what happens in a dungeon stays in a dungeon, and pretty much the bad guys are pretty much just doing whatever the hell they want. But of course, we mainly focus on Jin Sao, I believe his name is pronounced. If I do pronounce his name wrong, I do apologize to Solo Leveling fans. Yeah, but we mainly focus on him because obviously the journey is about him solo leveling. But apart from him, like obviously we've mainly focused on um Jinwoo. Everyone else, barely gets any like appearance or at least like background story. Like the main ones about like his mother, his sister, and of course Yu Ji-hoon. That was the name. Yeah. Aside from that, there's still so much about like Sung's system, like his play system that we still don't quite understand how it works and all that. Like for example, we know that he has to do certain daily quests. If he doesn't, he does penalties, and obviously he levels up through it, and he gains like levels by killing in the dungeons and humans and all that. So it's very interesting to find out you know what lengths can the play system go to and all that. And I'm looking forward to finding that out. But like I said about the characters, we haven't got that much like info like about them or got to know them that as characters. So it's made me feel like this season has been a setup for the next one, which is called Arise, that comes up some point later this year. But let's take a moment to appreciate the fights throughout Solo Leveling. They were just back-to-back great fights, like for example, episode 6 where we had the ODST playing, and obviously in episode 11 where Sung fights against Ignis. These were two really great fights with great ODSTs, so I believe everybody enjoyed them. Now, I'm gonna be honest, as you could probably tell from the thumbnail, I've already gone ahead and read pretty much the first 5 volumes of the manhwa, and I'm not gonna spoil anything for anime onlys, but all I can say is from what I've read, I'm looking forward to seeing where Solo the Leveling anime goes, and obviously I'm very tempted to continue reading it, the manhwa, because it really is a good manhwa. I cannot believe I've not heard of this apart from when I've watched the anime. So overall, I think Solo Leveling is a great anime. I highly recommend it, and like I said, I'm looking forward to when the next season, which is Arise, it's coming out, I believe, some point this year. And of course, I'm being very tempted to buy the manhwas. But anyway, that is the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and hopefully you will like the next one. Okay, see ya!